out of my notebooks, could memorize the most intimate parts of me without judgment, found a place on a blank page where I could unravel, treated it as a sanctuary where I could go undisturbed. But then one day, that secret and sacred place became public when God himself grabbed those hidden pages and exhaled. Now I breathe a little bit easier when people start reading the love letters I got used to addressing to myself. You see, I was once told that I wrote in a God box, as if every word that escaped from my mouth was forever trapped behind cheap Sunday school texts, forever deemed within my stereotype of pastor's daughter, prude, pious, perfect, every possible description capable of being spit towards my direction. I thought that the limelight meant the absence of Christ-like, that being a Christian poet meant Bible thumper and scripture verses in every poem. I thought that heartbreak poems were a distraction from seeing what God was really doing, but you see, sometimes heartbreaks are ugly and unfortunate, and there is no scripture verse that tells you, honey, grab the carton, dive in. You see, I once was told that I wrote in a God box, misunderstanding that what escaped from my mental pores was not just vital fluids, but fervent and passionate listening to my Creator, misunderstood that this heartbeat reverberates off a spiritual ribcage nestled in between human imperfection. You see, this is not a God box. This is worship embodied in the life of a searching and restless human being built with a simple desire to speak. Hi. Can I use that mic? It's so cool.
Can you speak up louder?
Okay, yeah, okay, great. Awesome. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ariel. I'm from Azusa area, and this is weird to be here. I remember, I think it was through Instagram, so the little DM messaging, because that's pretty much the only contact information I had for Keontae. And he was like, hey, I'm doing this event, would you want to feature? And I said, whoa, feature? What does that mean? And he was like, you'd have 15 minutes. I was like, that's a long time for me to be on stage, but I'm here, and this is such a blessing. This was literally exactly what it is, Speak Life. Just from the worship to each and every performer who's gone before me, gifted, just so gifted, and to kind of soak all that up and then come up, it's just not fair, it's really not fair. Yeah, so that piece I just wrote, or that I just did, was kind of a preface of my first contacts with spoken word started in college, and it was on a competitive poetry team for Azusa Pacific, and my first critique I got on the poetry team was that I wrote in a God box. And I was like, what does that mean? And for 2 years, it took me 2 years to write that poem, because I really didn't understand if that was a bad thing, if that was a good thing, is that something that, is it a learning experience for me? And so I really wrestled with what that looks like, and I was like, this is not a God box, this is literally who I am. I don't know how to not exude who I was created by. And so, just a preface for that, I'm supposed to do that for poems, so half these poems don't have titles, so it's gonna be hard to be like, well, here's how I wrote this. Yeah, so this next piece that I'm gonna do for you is about love and things, because we're poets and I'm emotional half the time, so this is just a piece that I wrote in terms of, it speaks for itself, we're just gonna do it. Will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? Will you still love me when I've got nothing but my aching soul? I know that you will. I know that you will. I don't know that you will. You see, we've lost the art of loving because we've stopped becoming artists who truly seeing people. We're afraid that if they look too closely, they'll find us. Buried underneath our facades and once established great walls, we've let unexpected planes attack our skyscrapers, confusing our hearts and worth with ashes and debris. We water down vulnerability by letting the words slip too carelessly from our mouths. We define relationships through social media, approval of likes, and too many God cards, not enough rawness. We're afraid that the bare and unfiltered parts of us are just too ugly for anyone to ever hold, and told that they're exquisite and beautiful, and so we have women who cover up their unfiltered So we have women who cover up their unfiltered with makeup so that even beauty marks forget they're beautiful, and men who spray cologne to hide the scent of liquid salt they can't even cull tears, you see. We've lost the art of loving because we've forgotten where our puzzle pieces are supposed to be placed. Too many people making frail attempts to guess, forcing mixed-match pairs and jagged edges. It's no wonder why we feel so misplaced. It's no wonder why they deem us a generation who's forgotten how to love well. Yes, rewrite stories of humans taking in each other as like inhales and exhales, but we don't just want I love you anymore because they become too hollowed out for us to feel any of its depth we want. You are messed up, crazy, and beautiful, and I want to know every layer of who you are. So why won't you let me love you like the way I know how? I want someone to tell me that this thing in my chest beats too whole for anything half-hearted, you see. I was once told that I was deserving of a beautifully handcrafted love story. So I want white-out words for scratch-out ones that fit better. I want typewriter font that leaks into calligraphy sometime. I want a bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh narrative. I want to have late-night conversations that make me wake up and ask myself, how could I do better? I want to be touched. And the way that puts this tattered and washed out crown back into my namesake, I know that it's there, patiently waiting or orchestrating for us to meet it for the first time, or maybe all over again and say hello to this thing called love we've redefined so many times no one really knows its meaning anymore. So maybe we haven't lost the art of loving, we've just forgotten what it looks like. Maybe we haven't lost the art of loving, we've just forgotten that we were loved by the creator of this universe first. Maybe we haven't lost the art of loving, we've just forgotten what it looks like. But we're not broken, just bent, and we can learn to love again. It's always weird to do features because I can't crawl off stage and go into a ball. Like, I have to like stay here in the light. So, I'm light skinned too, so all the blush and all the flushing is just gonna give me away. Awesome. Well, this is very strange. I have one more piece for you all, and before I do it, thank you, Keontae, wherever you are. It's like dark where I can see people, but I can't really see people, so in the corner, Keontae, thank you so much for this opportunity, and just to get to know each and every one of you. That's my Instagram, and also my Twitter, and also Facebook, if you want to be friends. I have a book, it's on Amazon. I don't promote myself, but I'm just gonna do this poem. Great. When I was a little girl, my mom used to say that whenever someone would tell me I was black, I would scream that I was pink instead. For as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a barista so that I could love strangers without even knowing them. If I were to get a tattoo, I would have them ink out the words worthy on my wrist so that it goes back into my bloodstream, because for too long I've been conditioned in thinking that I am defined by what I do and not simply by who I am. We live in a world with one too many ideals on how to be and how to dream. I heard someone say once that they don't give power to young people because they don't think that they can handle it, but who's to say that I'm not capable of taking this world by its seams and turning it inside out? Who's to say that this body and soul can be contained within logical? You see, I serve a God who does not care much about my logical. My list and expectations are no match for his already written plan. Your purpose doesn't in the fact that you were called to teach and to speak, called to orchestrate and to dance. Maybe you're so afraid of it all because it doesn't make sense, but I'm sorry that I'm not sorry that sometimes the best things in this life just don't make sense. I've always wondered. My right restless feet stumbled headfirst into poetry and not medicine. Why my life's desires to leave footprints in word form everywhere that I go. I guess I was just afraid of the Jeremiah 29:11 he's left bumping in this rib cage, afraid of the burning bush that he's placed in this soul. They will tell us that we're crazy if we think that art will do anything but keep us distracted, but I'm tired of pretending that every spill of a poem is not a prayer, and that every stage is not a sanctuary. We are artists, created to create create, and yet our own worst enemy, our deepest fear, is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be talented, brilliant, fabulous, gorgeous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. Marianne Williamson, I know that you have fears tucked in your conscience like little monsters that just keep showing up. That game of comparison you play will strip you of the marvel in your own story. There will always be someone who comes along and does something a little bit differently than you. They will laugh with more of a twinkle and walk as if they were floating instead. But baby, there will never be another one like you, because you were placed on this earth to lead goodness like something crucial and be the most beautifully flawed heaven on earth that there ever was. This world needs more beautiful now than it ever has. So I guess I'll stop being afraid of how I can contribute. I'll pick up my pen so beautiful back into this world every day that I can, even if it's the last thing that I do. Ooh.